Welcome back. Anarock has a very interesting residential report out. They say the Q3 residential sales for the industry indicate that the worst is over for the real estate sector and that the festive season will see further growth. Now, to get an idea of what gives them this confidence, we have with us the author of the report, Anuj Puri, Chairman, Anarock. We also have someone who's a player in the industry, Jaishankar, Chairman, Managing Director, Brigade Enterprises. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Anuj, first to you to give us more color from your report. You say things have improved. Can you give us some numbers and also some bit of city-wise or region-wise breakup?
Absolutely, Lata. A delight to be on your show, always. So, Lata, what we did was on the report, we did not compare the Q2, which is ending September quarter, with Q1 because Q1 was absolutely a washout. So what we have done in our report is we have compared the September quarter with pre-COVID, which is the January, February, March. March, there was a slight impact that we'd had, but we've compared in our report both those figures. And what we've discovered is that the launches in this quarter ending September were back to 80% of the pre-COVID level. And the sales was back 65% to the pre-COVID level. I mean, honestly, I did not expect that it was going to be so quick that the sales was going to be back. I thought it will be really the festive season that it is going to come back. What has surprised us is, Mr. Jaishankar's city, Bangalore. I mean, that city has just gone berserk. So, I was hearing the previous interview that you were doing, Lata, and I feel is that, that pent-up demand, the word that you use, is probably what's happening in Bangalore, that whatever shortfall that we had in April, May, June, we've seen that come up in this quarter. What is exciting as well is Bombay picked up. Bombay is at 75% of the pre-COVID level. Bangalore is almost at the pre-COVID level. I think the cities that are suffering at this moment in time are Calcutta, Pune, and Hyderabad. And again, Lata, as we go through this, I'll tell you there are very different trends that are emerging, ready to move in inventory, plotted development, only good developers inventory being sold, some kind of pricing payment mechanism, younger guys buying it. They're taking a lot more home loan because it's at a 14-year low. So very different trends than what we saw in Jan to March quarter.
Well, one minute. Anuj, I've got a Reserve Bank report that was released on Friday. And this is housing price index data which they have. And they agree with you only on one point, on Bangalore, where they say the prices have gone up rather sharply from Q4 to Q1. Their data, I guess, is stopping with June. And for all other cities, that is Mumbai, Chennai, Mumbai is flat. Chennai, Delhi and all India are showing a fall in house price index. What's your data saying?
Yeah, so absolutely, Lata. I was only talking of the sales volume and the launches, not the pricing. Pricing, absolutely correct. I mean, Bangalore also, it's very marginal that it has gone up. Majority of the cities, we've seen a decline. That has happened, and willingly the developers have brought in either payment schemes, and when you account for those payment schemes in the pricing, you will see between a 5% to 15% drop in the pricing, and developers are quite okay with that, as long as the inventory is moving fast. But what we have seen, Bangalore hold up on the pricing and really come back on the sales.
Yeah, okay. In fact, we wanted to get, Mr. Jaishankar, the Chairman and Managing Director of Brigade Enterprises, into this conversation. He'll be able to tell us what exactly is happening in Bangalore. Mr. Jaishankar, the thing is that Bangalore has this added advantage of so many tech companies, and we've seen this whole digital opportunity. So there's a lot of, generation of revenues there and a big comeback post-COVID. Do you think that is one of the reasons why sales have also gone up? And can you give us exact numbers in residential volumes? What percent of it has, are we back to pre-COVID levels? And what do you see as the way forward?
Thank you, and pleasure to be on this show along with Anuj Puri, Lata and you. And I'm happy to say and quite pleased to say that as far as Brigade is concerned, our sales volume in July to September is matched or marginally more than the pre-COVID level. That means it has reached 100% of the pre-COVID level sales. And the last time I was in this thing with Lata, I had mentioned we expect 50% jump over minimum 50% jump over April to June quarter in July to September. But I must say we have done about nearly 140% jump over the April to June quarter and have reached Q4 of FY20 and also Q2 of FY20 figures. So that is, I think, a combination of factors. One, of course, is little bit of pent-up demand, and primarily, in my opinion, it is because prospective customers have realized this is the best time to buy because the prices are at its lowest, and it is not just due to COVID. Almost since November of 2016, when the demonetization was announced, and subsequent to that RERA and GST impact, the real estate sector has been soft. And the developers across the country have absorbed the inflation of this last 3 to 4 years in their pricing, much against their wishes. It's due to the market factors, and it cannot go any further. It cannot go down any further.
Jaishankar,
for sure.
Yeah, Mr. Jaishankar, if you can put some numbers to it for the industry, not just for yourself, in Bangalore. How much do you think house sales have increased in the September quarter, that is July, August, September, over last year? As well, how much may prices have increased?
See, as far as prices are concerned, it may be between 3 to 5%, depending on project to project, prices may have gone up. But Anuj did mention about the various payment schemes, etc. That has some impact. But as far as the sales are concerned, it is still not at for the industry itself in Bangalore, it is still not at the pre-COVID levels. It may have reached about 60 to 65% of the pre-COVID levels. I mentioned 100% for that is for our own company. If you see the entire sector for Bangalore, we are still short by about 40% to pre-COVID level. Oh. That is what I feel. Okay. Anuj may have much more, or the details and figures.
Yeah, no, actually, your numbers are gelling. He's also speaking about 65%. Anuj, I wanted to ask you, as Mr. Jaishankar says, from demonetization time and GST, we have seen the real estate sector in pain and, taking steps in its own way to face the pain. How much has unsold inventory fallen? Ultimately, that is the big overhang.
Absolutely correct. Lata, you've hit it on the nail. I'll just give you Bangalore numbers as well, because you've asked it. 5,840 units were sold last quarter. And when you compare it to the pre-COVID level, it was nearly 8,600. So you're about 68%, close to what Mr. Jaishankar is saying that's what Bangalore has been able to deliver. You're absolutely right, Lata. One of the things is the bane of this unsold inventory. So in this quarter, it reduced by 1%. Only by 1% that it reduced. We were actually thinking is that the unsold inventory may actually go up. But what has happened is, Lata, is that the launches have really come down dramatically. And, from April to June, there was no labor and nobody wanted to really do the launch. So whilst there was very little sales, but there were equally very little launches. The launches have picked up in the September quarter, but the sales have been slightly ahead of the launches. Thereby, the overall inventory has reduced by 1%.
Okay. I also wanted a view on what's happening with the commercial real estate space. So, Mr. Jaishankar, if you can just tell us what your view is. I mean, is the commercial real estate space doing much better compared to what we've seen in the last 3 months? Have collections improved?
Undoubtedly, compared to April to June, commercial real estate has showing good signs of improvement. What is, if not on to fully concluded deals, it is the number of inquiries that is coming up for new, leasing. A lot of requests for proposals have increased. And, in commercial real estate, the decision-making time can be anywhere between 3 to 6 months, unlike a residential, which can happen across the, in a email or even across the table. So this takes 3 to 6 months time, but it is very encouraging to see the huge increase in the number of inquiries and visits and, negotiations. And as far as the collections are concerned, we are between 98 to 99% collections. I think that is by and large, it is under full control. But still, the staff in, IT sector is yet to fully come back to offices. I think they are still maybe at 90% may still be working from home. But there is a huge eagerness to return to office. That is for sure.
Okay. Well, Anuj, before we conclude this conversation, can you give me an overarching view? You spoke about unsold interviews and you said that, inventories, you said it's fallen by 1%. If you can give me a year on year since, say, 2017, the demo year, how much have inventories fallen? And secondly, the real estate sector was in a lot of pain even earlier, even before COVID. So if you can give us an idea, and in between there have been lots of, say, the BlackRocks of the world coming in, a lot of real estate packages have gone from weaker hands to stronger hands. Can you give an overarching size of whether the pain in the sector, and I'm including everything NCR and Mumbai in it, has it gone down? If yes, by how much?
So it's a very good question, Lata. We're seeing a huge amount of consolidation. And, that's what you're really alluding to as well. A lot of the private equity guys have come in. They have consolidated hugely in the commercial real estate sector. We've seen now 2 REITs. And Lata, the second REIT happened actually in COVID, which was 14 times oversubscribed. We're hoping before the end of this calendar year, we have the third REIT by Brookfield that gets launched. So clearly, we've seen that the exit of a lot of the commercial property has happened from developers to the private equity guys, and that's where consolidation has happened. Equally, Lata, we've seen that in the residential space. Mr. Jaishankar from Brigade is saying on the positive note, because that's where the sale is actually moving to. It's not across the board. So look at it. What Mr. Jaishankar said is that he's crossed, in some of the quarters compared to the September quarter, even 100%, whilst the market is only at 68%. So clearly some developers are losing, and that's where I think the market is going to move, that it will get hugely consolidated. And the pain for the players who are B and C will only enhance. For the good quality developers, this is now going to be a very, very good time to go forward. The second, very quickly, is on the unsold inventory at the peak level. And 2016, Lata, was the peak level. It was 780,000 units. We've come down to 620,000 units. So nearly 160,000 units of unsold inventory. And the way I define unsold inventory is anything which is under construction or fully completed. So that's what the fall has happened over the last 4 years.
Okay. Well, we would want to go on and ask you more about the financing part of the sector. We're out of time, but pleasure listening to both of you. Thank you very much, Anuj Puri and Mr. Jaishankar. So, real estate sector